Hello, 3F. This is Mr. Teo here. I'm going to go through the Cell Structures and Organization TYS paper. Okay, so for the beginning, the questions, generally those that I'm not going through, such as number one, number two, these are generally what we call factual questions or knowledge-based questions, whereby they are just based on the correct information, knowledge about cells and what they are able to do. For example, I don't think we need to really go through what the shape of a human red blood cell is. That one we should all remember by now is the biconcave shape or biconcave disc in this case. So moving on, if you have questions such as the one that I did not go through, here are the ones like in part B for question 1 in the structured questions which I had went through the class earlier on, whereby in part B they were asking for how do you show that these are animal cells and they're not plant cells. For 2 marks, there are 3 possible answers and you're going to choose any of these 2. So things like the absence of a cellulose cell wall, absence of chloroplast, absence of large central vacuole. These are 3 possible choices for which you have to, of course, write the word absence of in front of those phrases. Choose any 2 of these to clinch the 2 marks that are in this question. Over here, for the paramecium, which is the single-celled animals, how else can you tell from the diagram that this is not a plant cell? Here, I'm only choosing both the lack or absence of the cellulose cell wall or the large central vacuole, instead of talking about things like what do you call that, chloroplast. Now, why we are not able to say absence of chloroplast in this answer is because I am going to highlight the reason. The paramecium already says that it does not have chloroplast. So, what other piece of information can you see from this diagram that this is not a plant cell? And that you're left with only 2 choices, and that is the absence of either the cellulose cell wall or the large central vacuole. One of your classmates today asked, what is the difference between the mitochondrion and the mitochondria answer? Well, basically, for labeling of B, which is the mitochondrion, a single mitochondrion, well, is spelled with a D-R-I-O-N. If you're talking about multiple mitochondrion, then it's a mitochondria. For your national exams, they are not going to be too particular whether you spell the mitochondria or the mitochondrion. So typically, I would ask students to just focus on the one in blue, even if they are just referring to a single one. Next, process that takes place in the mitochondrion, that would be aerobic respiration. Okay, there's another one called anaerobic respiration, for which I will explain further when we get to the topic on respiration. And here, livers are used to synthesize protein. You don't have to bother about not knowing what the fibrinogen protein is at this point in time, because the key word here is the synthesis of protein and in large numbers. So if we go back to this diagram, we can see that the one labeled A, the ribosomes, are in the cell in numerous amounts. And so this would be the clue in question 5, even though I know in exams we normally don't get these type of questions one after the other. So in large numbers, synthesis, these are 2 key phrases that would lead us to the answer that this 5A is ribosome. Similarly, okay, I think that for this one, for 5B, everyone was quite comfortable with the knowledge that the red blood cell is for the transport of oxygen. Now, transport of vitamins is the plasma, which is the liquid watery part of your blood, and phagocytosis. It refers to the cell being able to eat something, which is in that inverted commas. So that one is done by your white blood cells. Imagine the white blood cells as like doing what Pac-Man would do, eat up something. So phagocytosis is like what Pac-Man does. And white blood cells are also used for producing antibodies. Last question asked by your class just now was platelets. Platelets are fragments of cells in your bloodstream that are used and essential for blood clotting. Finally, I think this was the last question we went through in class today. And this was a simple one. Ribosomes are generally found in the cytoplasm. And of course, ribosomes join amino acids together, name the large molecule synthesize. This will be taught in the next chapter, but ribosomes joining stuff together is going to join proteins together. Further and further emphasized by this TYS question, enzymes are made by ribosomes. That is a clue that tells you that the enzymes are made of proteins, and suggests why cells in the alimentary canal, which is your gut or your digestive system, needs a lot of these. So here we go. Alimentary canal, which is your digestive tract, needs to digest food using enzymes, which I highlight. The enzymes are made of proteins that are produced using many ribosomes. So that, in a way, I'm using part of the words from the question to help answer the question itself. Okay, that is what the class went through today. So I hope you've found this video useful. Do text me or take screenshots of questions that you're not sure how to do or what do they mean, and I will try my best to go through before the next lesson. Okay, until tomorrow, thank you. Okay, see you.